Have you ever wondered what it's like to hunt for retro games and designer treasures in the heart of Japan? Get ready as I dive straight into Tokyo's retro thrifting scene. In this video, we're on a mission to find rare consoles, vintage cartridges, designer bags, and a designer cigarette case. But of course, that's not all. There's a whole lot more to be had at hard off, book off, and off house stores. So you know what? Today, we're gonna visit all three. First off, let's get started here at Off Super Bazaar Higashi Chiba Yuko store, one of my favorites. I am back here at another Off Super Bazaar, and this is one of the Super Bazaars I went to in my 5 Super Bazaar in one day video to see what they have today. Retro games and stuff like that are going to be on the second floor here, along with your books. Third floor, you're going to have your designer. The main reason we came back to this store today is we're trying to see if anything new has made it to the clearance or discount section. We're also going to keep an eye out for anything new in the junk section, and there's something upstairs in the designer section that I plan to buy as well. Hopefully they still have it. The first time I ever came to this store, I found a copy of all 5 of the original Pokemon Game Boy Advance mainline games here in the showcase, all at 20% off. Still to this day, I haven't found a better deal than that one. Still, it's important to take your time when you come to any of these stores to make your way through the game section. You never know what hidden deals you're gonna find. Here's a tip that might help many of you that can't read Japanese. I know some of you are still learning, such as myself. So there's an app called Google Lens you can get on your phone. Download this app, add the widget to your home screen, then you can use the lens to translate any language into English or whatever native language you speak. That way you can figure out what's going on with the games before you buy them. What is your favorite vintage game system to collect? Personally for me, it's gonna be Game Boys. So you know I gotta take my time to flip through the Game Boy rack right here. And for some reason, I'm happening to find a Pokemon Silver copy at just about every store I go to right now. And most of these hard off and book off stores sell them for under 500 yen. This one was no exception. Here you go, a copy of Silver for 480 right here on the shelf at the Super Bazaar. One of the favorite features for many about an off-branded store is going to be the junk section. So let's go over there and see what we can find here at the Super Bazaar's junk section. Sometimes you find some incredible deals here. In fact, this so happens to be the same exact junk section where I found 2 complete in box, brand new factory sealed Microsoft Xbox 360 Special Edition controllers. Take a look what they have today. They have 2 3DSs here in the junk section. One's at 10% off. The other one's at 20% off, and honestly that's kinda tempting to pick up a 3DS here. We have the jet black model here, and then we also do have one of the blue models here as well. Which one would you go for if it was your choice? One thing to keep in mind when purchasing a Japanese 3DS console is that they only play games in Japanese. So keep this in mind. If you do want to play games in English or any other language, you are going to need to hack the console, jailbreak it, and play it in a different language. So far, I'm not really seeing anything I can't live without here at this store. Nothing's been replenished that much since the last time we've been here, which is a good thing for the wallet. We're going to be able to stay focused and keep on this walkthrough. Before we head up to the designer section, let's stop and check out the iPod case because I am an Apple collector as well, and I'm curious to see if they have any new iPods today. Anytime I get the chance to shop at one of these off stores, I always take the time to make sure I'm not missing any Apple deals, but unfortunately today, still the same iPods in the showcase. Finally, it is time to head up to the 3rd floor designer section. I'm curious to see if they still have it. Yes, they do. The Gucci cigarette case I've been eyeballing, they still got it, and it's on clearance for just 1,800 yen. You know we gotta cop that. But first, let me go ahead and give you a full walkthrough of the designer section. The designer showcases at this Super Bazaar never disappoint. They have a huge selection of Louis Vuitton, more than any other store that I've seen here. But of course, when it comes to designer, that's not all. They have plenty of Gucci, Hermes, Chanel, and Dior. And as you saw earlier with the cigarette case I'm buying, these designer showcases are no exceptions. They also get regular markdowns on prices just like the rest of the inventory here at the store. Here's another example. This Gucci hat right here was also in the showcase for 30,000 or something like that last week. It's also on sale now. We're running out of time for this store, but let's go take a quick look at the men's section. I'm curious to see if they have any new shoes. They do still have this pair of Gammas for a steal. In my opinion, that is a great price on those bad boys. And they also do have a bunch of new clothes here in the section, a ton of bulk shoes, and I did spot this blue suitcase there off in the distance, and that looked to be a pretty good deal as well. You gotta love to buy a suitcase when you're shopping like this. While I was making my way back to the checkout counter, I walked past the Supreme section and I saw the most insane pair of jeans that I ever have. I didn't even know Supreme made these pants. These are so cool. These are probably my favorite pair of Supreme pants. I also decided to take a quick look there at the women's section as well. I saw that crossbody for $8,000, a little medicine bag for $4K, and there in the junk bins they also did have some Gucci accessories as well. Since it's time to check out, I had to get my card out of the showcase, and can you guess what it was? Of course, it's one of my favorite Pokemon, which is going to be a Roaring Moon EX. You know I had to snag it, especially at a discount with the cigarette case. There's no way I could pass up this deal. Now let's head to the next store. The next store is Hard Off Nishi Tokorazawa store. This store is very interesting because not only is there a Hard Off and an Off House, but there's also a grocery store. Now this store is definitely a smaller location, but what can you expect from a one-stop shop? You can come here and get your groceries and all your retro goods all at one time. Here in the old software section, they do have a pretty good assortment of old consoles and controllers. They also do have a small selection of complete in-box units on the top shelf. Primarily being a Game Boy collector, there's not too much I was seeing there that I needed and I couldn't live without, so I decided to go take a look at the showcase. They did have a pretty nice gold Game Boy in the front of that showcase for 13,000 yen, but that is honestly a steep price. For a second, I almost thought that was the New York Pokemon Center exclusive Game Boy. Now if that was the case, that would make this Game Boy worth a lot more, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a base gold Game Boy. Let's go take a look at their CIB game showcase to see if they have any copies of Leaf Green. Do you guys see anything in here that you're looking for? Because I'm definitely not seeing a copy of Leaf Green, but that's alright, you know we're going to keep looking. Let's go ahead and see what else this aisle has to offer before we get out of here and move on to the next Hard Off. Now they do have a bunch of old cartridges here on this wall. Anything from SNES, Dreamcast, and a little bit of PS2. So give me a minute, I'm going to flip through these games, see if I can't find anything, and we'll go to the next store. I'm sorry in advance guys, but this is unfortunately one of those stores I just can't remember where it's located. This is a Book Off Plus and it's standing right there by that huge sign. It is a 2-floor store, but by the time I got there the second floor had just closed. It's another one of those really small stores, so it's also going to be another quick walkthrough. But if one of you guys know what store this is, please comment down below the location and I'll be sure to pin it in the description as well. Really the only thing I need is a copy of Leaf Green, CIB, but of course I'm keeping my eyes out for anything else I can see. This is the store I've been to before, but unfortunately it's not that big, so there's really not too much to vlog. They have this one small card showcase and they do have a small console showcase, and they also do have a small wall of games here. If you make your way all the way down to the end of this aisle and then you take a right, you'll be greeted with your old software. At first I didn't know where the old software was. I couldn't remember because I was getting pretty tired at this point, but the old software is right here past the book section. You'll see a section of PlayStation, Dreamcast, Game Boy cards, and much more. That's going to bring us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching another one of my off-store walkthroughs. If you like this video, chances are you'll like these too, so go check them out. Until next time, I'll be out this thing. Peace!